Back in 1973, Jesus Christ Superstar shocked audiences with its bold retelling of the final days of Jesus and became one of the most unforgettable movie musicals ever made. Sadly, Jesus could spare its cast from the tragedies of real life. They endured devastating illnesses, Hollywood betrayals, and heartbreaking deaths that no one could have imagined. Stay with us as we uncover the real names, the untold stories, and the extraordinary legacies they left behind. Carl Anderson as Judas Iscariot. Carl Anderson was born on February 27, 1946 in Cincinnati, Ohio. At 28 years old, he played Judas Iscariot, the conflicted, tragic figure whose betrayal drives the narrative forward. Anderson's portrayal emphasized the emotional complexity of Judas, transforming him from a simple villain into a deeply human, anguished man. This performance not only challenged audience expectations, but also set a new standard for portraying Judas with empathy and nuance. Behind the scenes, Anderson faced professional and societal pressures. As a black performer in the early 1970s, he navigated racial prejudice and public scrutiny, particularly because Judas was historically cast in ways that reinforced negative stereotypes. Carl used his powerful voice and interpretive skill to redefine the role, pushing back against these biases while delivering one of the most emotionally resonant performances in musical theater. Anderson continued to work on stage and in music, recording his own albums and performing concerts, including a high-profile collaboration with Gloria Loring on the hit single Friends and Lovers. He also remained involved in touring productions of the story, leveraging his stage and screen experience to mentor younger performers and preserve the artistic integrity of the musical. These professional choices illustrated his dedication to craft and the transformative power he brought to every performance. In 2003, while performing in a national tour of the production, Anderson was diagnosed with acute leukemia, discovered incidentally after a minor car accident. He battled the disease with courage, continuing to perform as much as possible despite his health declining, demonstrating the same dedication that had defined his decades-long career. Carl Anderson passed away on February 23, 2004, just days before his 59th birthday. His death marked the loss of a pioneering performer whose nuanced portrayal of Judas not only captivated audiences, but also broke barriers for Black artists in musical theater and film. His legacy endures through recordings, performances, and the inspiration he continues to provide to generations of actors and singers. Ted Neeley as Jesus Christ. Ted Neeley was born on September 20, 1943, in Ranger, Texas. At 29 years old, he took on the role of Jesus Christ, the compassionate and steadfast figure at the heart of the story. His portrayal required embodying unwavering patience, empathy, and moral authority, anchoring the narrative through its most intense and emotional moments. This role immediately defined his public persona and set the standard for every subsequent performance of the character. The filming process tested both body and mind. During the grueling desert shoots, temperatures soared above 40 degrees Celsius, and Ted, along with the cast and crew, endured extreme heat while transporting massive ice blocks to cool the set. These conditions pushed him to the edge of exhaustion, yet his dedication ensured that the physical suffering of Jesus on screen felt palpable and authentic. It was this blend of endurance and commitment that reinforced the role's enduring impact. These early challenges shaped Neeley's career trajectory. Throughout his life, he remained tied to this single iconic role, touring internationally for nearly 50 years and performing in stage productions that brought the story to countless audiences. Alongside these tours, he appeared in films like Django Unchained and stage shows such as Hair, using his vocal talent and stage presence to sustain a career that, while heavily associated with one character, showcased his versatility and persistence. Offstage, Neely built a grounded personal life. He married Leon Granger in 1981, who had been a dancer on the production, and they raised 2 children together. Their partnership provided stability amid decades of global tours and public attention, offering him a personal anchor that allowed him to give everything to his performances. As of 2026, Ted Neely is 82 years old and continues to engage with fans, teaching and mentoring young performers, maintaining a deep connection to the role that has defined his career while balancing family life and selective projects. Barry Dennen as Pontius Pilate. Barry Dennen was born on February 22, 1938 in Chicago, Illinois. At 34 years old, he played Pontius Pilate, the conflicted governor, whose authority and inner turmoil framed the pivotal moral tension in the story. His performance captured the weight of political responsibility and personal doubt, making Pilate a complex, memorable figure in the narrative. This role immediately highlighted Dennen's ability to convey gravitas and emotional depth on both stage and screen. Early in his career, Dennen faced professional and personal challenges. Before the film adaptation, he had performed the role on the concept album and the Broadway stage, while also taking supporting parts in films like Fiddler on the Roof and working internationally in London theater. Balancing multiple projects, Dennen navigated industry pressures, public expectations, and the challenge of portraying a historically scrutinized figure with nuance and integrity. Off-stage, his life was equally complex. Dennen had a notable early relationship with Barbra Streisand in 1960, helping her develop her nightclub act, and later lived openly as a gay man facing societal pressures and professional constraints in a less tolerant era. His personal experiences of love, loss, and identity informed the emotional authenticity he brought to Pilate, adding depth to a character often treated superficially. In the years leading up to his passing, Dennen remained active in stage, screen, and voice acting, lending his talents to films such as The Shining and television shows, as well as providing voices for video games like World of Warcraft and Dota 2. These projects demonstrated his versatility and ongoing commitment to performance, even as he aged. Barry Dennen passed away on September 26, 2017, in Los Angeles at age 79 due to complications from a fall that caused severe brain injury. His legacy endures through his transformative performances, the pioneering openness about his identity, and his influence on musical theater and film, leaving an indelible mark on audiences and fellow performers alike. Yvonne Elliman as Mary Magdalene. Yvonne Elliman was born on December 29, 1951, in Honolulu, Hawaii. At 21 years old, she portrayed Mary Magdalene, the devoted and compassionate follower, bringing depth and emotional nuance to the character's journey. Her role required balancing vulnerability and strength, making Mary Magdalene central to the human side of the story. From the start, Elliman's performance set her apart, earning immediate recognition and respect in the theatrical and cinematic worlds. The intensity of her career began early. Discovered by Tim Rice and Andrew Lloyd Webber, she performed in the concept album, stage productions, and film adaptation of the musical. The pressure of stepping into such an iconic role, combined with the relentless touring and recording schedules, challenged her physically and emotionally, yet it solidified her reputation as a dedicated and versatile performer. Despite this success, her personal life faced turbulence. Her first marriage to Bill Oakes ended in divorce, followed by a second marriage to Wade Hyman, which brought children but also complicated family dynamics. She ultimately found stability in her third marriage to Alan Alexander. In 2017, at age 65, she encountered a legal scandal in Guam related to alleged possession of controlled substances while on a charity trip, which she resolved through rehabilitation and legal oversight. Even after stepping back from the spotlight in 1980 to focus on family, Elliman continued to perform selectively and mentor younger artists, maintaining her connection to the industry while prioritizing her personal life. She also engaged in occasional philanthropic and musical projects, demonstrating her enduring commitment to her craft. As of 2026, Yvonne Elliman is 74 years old and continues to live in relative privacy, balancing her family commitments with selective performances and public appearances, a testament to her resilience and lifelong dedication to music and theater. Bob Bingham as Caiaphas. Bob Bingham was born on October 29, 1946, in Seattle, Washington. At 26 years old, he played Caiaphas, the high priest whose commanding presence and moral authority drove much of the tension in the story, in the original stage and film adaptation. His deep bass voice and imposing stature gave the role a weight that set it apart from the other characters, making Caiaphas both intimidating and unforgettable. Transitioning from stage to screen, Bingham faced the pressures of live performances and international tours. He reprised his role in Paris and on Broadway while also appearing in a film by Juan Orol and later performing as Jesus in Arthur Miller's Up from Paradise. These experiences strengthened his skills, even as the intensity of Caiaphas's role became a defining shadow over his career. After leaving the stage, Bingham retired from the entertainment industry in 1974, seeking a quieter, more stable life. He worked in management in manufacturing, including a position at a zipper production company, while raising a family with his wife, Idilcia Aracena, and 2 children, Franklin and Yasemin. Despite leaving Hollywood, he occasionally revisited his iconic role in Q&A events and film screenings, honoring the legacy he had created. Bingham's commitment to family and craft defined his later years, balancing the legacy of a legendary performance with personal fulfillment and privacy. He remained connected to his peers and fans while nurturing his family and personal life away from the spotlight. Bob Bingham passed away on February 8, 2025, at the age of 78 in Carmel, New York. His death marked the end of a life that combined artistic achievement, resilience, and devotion to family, leaving an indelible mark on musical theater and film. Josh Mostel as King Herod. Josh Mostel was born on December 21, 1946, in New York City. At 26 years old, he played King Herod, the flamboyant and unpredictable ruler, in Jesus Christ Superstar. His comedic timing, exaggerated gestures, and larger-than-life stage presence gave Herod a chaotic charm, making the character both menacing and absurdly entertaining, standing out among the ensemble of apostles and disciples. During this period, Mostel had to navigate the shadow of his father, Zero Mostel, a legendary comic actor, which brought intense public and critical scrutiny. His distinctive round physique and comedic style often typecast him into humorous or quirky supporting roles, limiting opportunities for dramatic leads. Despite these challenges, he persisted, appearing in the film Harry and Tonto, and later taking roles in Sophie's Choice and City Slickers, demonstrating his range beyond the Herod persona. Offstage, Mostel maintained a quiet personal life, splitting his time between New York City and a summer home on Monhegan Island. He married 3 times, including to Yvonne DiCarlo, and fathered children, balancing family commitments with his work in theater and film. His experiences reflected both the pressures of Hollywood lineage and his dedication to his craft. Mostel continued acting in supporting film roles and Broadway productions for decades, later appearing in Billy Madison and The Money Pit, showing that even under the long shadow of a defining role, he could sustain a varied career. His comedic talent and adaptability allowed him to remain a memorable presence on stage and screen. As of 2026, Josh Mostel is 79 years old and lives in New York, still engaged with theater projects and enjoying a private life away from the intense scrutiny of Hollywood. His legacy endures in his memorable performance as King Herod and his contributions to stage and film comedy. Larry Marshall as Simon Zelotes. Larry Marshall was born on April 3, 1944, in Spartanburg, South Carolina. At 29 years old, he portrayed Simon Zelotes, the fiery revolutionary leader, in Jesus Christ Superstar. His commanding energy and vocal power brought Simon's passionate drive and impulsive loyalty vividly to life, setting the character apart from the other apostles. Marshall's career was shaped by the challenges of race and limited roles for black performers in Broadway and Hollywood during the 1970s. He concentrated on stage work, honing his craft in musicals, including a Tony-nominated performance as Sportin' Life in Porgy and Bess, and appeared in films such as The Cotton Club. These choices allowed him to expand his repertoire while navigating systemic inequities in the entertainment industry. Off-stage, he remained committed to mentoring younger performers and selecting roles that emphasized vocal prowess and dramatic skill. Marshall's persistence ensured he could sustain a meaningful career while maintaining creative control and professional respect in the theater world. Beyond performance, he engaged in teaching and community initiatives advocating for better representation of performers of color, while preserving the stamina and discipline necessary for decades of demanding stage work. His dedication reflected both the intensity of Simon Zelotes and his personal commitment to excellence. As of 2026, Larry Marshall is 82 years old and lives in the United States, continuing to mentor, perform occasionally, and participate in educational projects that celebrate the legacy of Black artists in theater. His life embodies resilience, integrity, and artistic devotion in a challenging industry. Paul Thomas as Apostle Peter. Paul Thomas was born on April 17, 1947, in Winnetka, Illinois. At 25 years old, he portrayed Peter, the devoted apostle who struggles with faith, loyalty, and fear throughout the story, in Jesus Christ Superstar. His role as Peter highlighted the tension between courage and doubt, showing the human side of a disciple often caught between admiration for Jesus and the weight of responsibility. During the film, Thomas faced the pressures of transitioning from mainstream stage and screen to adult entertainment. While continuing to perform in the Broadway and touring productions of Jesus Christ Superstar, where he covered nearly every male role except Peter, he also appeared in Hair. These experiences honed his stage skills and stamina, but ultimately his career path shifted toward adult films. Despite the radical career change, Thomas demonstrated resilience. He performed in hundreds of adult films, directed over 374 titles, and was inducted into both the AVN and XRCO Halls of Fame. His dedication to craft within the adult industry earned him a reputation for professionalism, even as it provoked public controversy and astonishment among fans of his earlier mainstream work. Off-screen, Thomas navigated legal and personal challenges, including a 1982 arrest for cocaine smuggling, while maintaining a family life with his wife, Judy Epstein. He balanced personal commitments with the demands of his career, showing adaptability and persistence throughout decades in a highly competitive and scrutinized field. Paul Thomas passed away on June 9, 2025, in Los Angeles, California, at the age of 78. His life reflected both the heights of stage performance as Peter and the extremes of his adult film career, leaving behind a complex and controversial legacy. Kurt Yagjian as Anas. Kurt Yagjian was born on February 9, 1951, in Detroit, Michigan. At 21 years old, he played Annas, the cunning high priest, in Jesus Christ Superstar. His sharp vocal delivery and expressive acting gave Annas a calculating edge, highlighting the political and moral tensions among the priests, making the role a critical pivot in the story. Early in his career, Yagjian had to overcome the limitations placed on Black performers in Broadway and Hollywood. He had trained in opera and musical theater, appearing in the original Broadway production of Jesus Christ Superstar as both a leper and reporter before understudying Judas and Pilate. These experiences built the foundation for his nuanced portrayal of Annas, balancing ambition and menace on screen. After the film, Yagjian focused primarily on music, lending his backing vocals to prominent artists including John Lennon, Carly Simon, and Ronnie Spector. He also continued stage work and participated in subsequent tours of Jesus Christ Superstar, leveraging his vocal skill while avoiding Hollywood's commercial pressures. His career reflected careful choices that prioritized craft and musical integrity over fame. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, he expanded into recording and studio work, including contributions to concept albums like Bob Christensen's Grail and the Berenstain Bears' Save Christmas, the musical. He also performed in off-Broadway productions, showing versatility while mentoring younger performers and maintaining a focus on music and theater. As of 2026, Kurt Yagdjian is 74 years old and lives in the United States, remaining involved in music and occasional stage work. He has built a quiet, enduring career that honors his early-stage legacy while keeping a private and focused artistic life. Robert Lupone as an apostle. Robert Lupone was born on July 29, 1946, in Brooklyn, New York. At 27 years old, he portrayed an apostle, a dedicated follower of Jesus who supports the ministry while grappling with doubt and loyalty in Jesus Christ Superstar. His role required a combination of physicality and dramatic nuance, portraying a disciple fully engaged in the moral and spiritual stakes of the story. Early in his career, Lupone trained rigorously in dance and theater, graduating from Juilliard and studying with instructors such as Anthony Tudor and Uta Hagen. Before and after Jesus Christ Superstar, he performed in Broadway productions like Noel Coward's Sweet Potato and later in A Chorus Line. These experiences developed his skills in movement, vocal performance, and ensemble acting, which he carried into film and television appearances. Throughout his life, Lupone balanced performance with leadership and mentorship. He co-founded the Manhattan Class Company, which evolved into MCC Theater, producing plays such as Frozen and Reasons to Be Pretty, while continuing to act on stage and in television series like The Sopranos and Law and Order. His apostle training in live ensemble work informed his teaching and directing style, emphasizing discipline, vocal power, and dramatic authenticity. Lupone also engaged in educational and community initiatives, advocating for better representation of performers of color and nurturing emerging artists. His work behind the scenes reinforced his commitment to theater, allowing him to expand his influence beyond acting into production and mentorship. Robert Lupone passed away on August 27, 2022, at a hospice facility in Albany, New York, at the age of 76 from pancreatic cancer. His life and career left a lasting imprint on American theater, both as a performer portraying an apostle and as a mentor shaping future generations of actors. Darcel Wynne as Woman. Darcel Wynne was born on June 13, 1953, in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. At 20 years old, she appeared as a female dancer in Jesus Christ Superstar, contributing to the vibrant ensemble scenes that brought energy, movement, and visual flair to the musical numbers. Her role, while non-speaking, required precise coordination and stamina, adding life to the choreography and helping convey the emotional tension of the crowd sequences. After Jesus Christ Superstar, she moved into prominent roles as a lead dancer on the hit TV series Solid Gold, where she regularly performed complex routines and became a household name. Her experience on the Superstar set helped her develop the discipline and stage awareness required for live and broadcast performances, solidifying her reputation as a consummate professional. During the peak of her career, Wynne expanded into multiple creative outlets. She appeared in films such as Mame, Xanadu, and Night Shift, starred in stage productions including Peter Pan as Tiger Lily, and published her fitness guide Darcel, a dancer's guide to fitness. These projects demonstrated her versatility, combining performance, education, and choreography, while she maintained the focus and precision honed during her early days on Superstar. Off-stage, Wynne navigated her personal life with care and discretion. She married Glenn Leonard of The Temptations, with whom she had 3 children, and prioritized family life while stepping back from mainstream show business. Her move to become a born-again Christian after leaving television marked a conscious choice to live a quieter, values-centered life. As of 2026, Darcel Wynn is 73 years old and lives in the United States, enjoying a peaceful life focused on family, faith, and mentoring younger dancers. Her journey from a young ensemble dancer in Jesus Christ Superstar to a television icon and fitness advocate reflects both her resilience and enduring passion for dance. So that's the story of the Jesus Christ Superstar, 1973, after 53 years. Their lives and careers took very different paths, but their performances helped turn the film into a musical classic that audiences still remember today. Which cast member's journey surprised you the most, and whose performance has stayed with you all these years? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more then and now stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.